Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day or great afternoon, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Have you ever wondered how the Pittsburgh Penguins had such a successful Stanley Cup run in 2017? Well, I'm going to tell you how they did just that. I have been a Penguins fan for about 4 years now, and seeing this team has been absolutely incredible and would totally recommend going to a game. Today I'm going to be telling you about what made the Penguins so successful in their 2017 Stanley Cup run. I'm going to begin by talking about the team itself because they went through some pretty major changes before their season even began. Everyone knows that in order to win a championship, you have to have great players, a great roster, a great team, whatever you want to call it. Well, according to HockeyDB.com, even though the Penguins had really talented people like their captains, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Chris Letang, they knew that that wouldn't be enough, which meant trades. As Ryan Fiore, a writer for the Nittany Pride newspaper, states, the Penguins made quite a few trades. Some of the key ones were longtime goalie Marc-Andre Fleury to the Vegas Golden Knights, who were just an up-and-coming team at that point, and centerman Matt Cullen to the Minnesota Wild. So now that the team has gone through changes, had a good season, they're now in the playoffs, so let's talk about what was the turning point for this team during their Stanley Cup run. So according to David Satriano, NHL staff writer for NHL.com, the thing that really turned this all around for the Pittsburgh Penguins was their win against the Washington Capitals. And the Penguins were currently on a losing streak and the Capitals on a winning streak. So this game was a bit of a roller coaster. Every time the Penguins would score, take the lead, the Capitals would score again and take it right back, or sometimes tie it. But in the third, when the Capitals had tied it at 7, the game went into overtime. And just 34 seconds into that overtime, forward Connor Sheary scored the game-winning goal, giving the Penguins the victory and then starting them, which thus led to a winning streak. Now that the Penguins are doing well again, they are in the Stanley Cup final against the Nashville Predators. So let's talk about when they finally get to Game 6 and win that all-important Stanley Cup. The Penguins are now in the throes of the Stanley Cup Finals, and it's come down to the all-important Game 6, as stated by Robbie Stanley, NHL correspondent for NHL.com. Game 6 took place at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee, against the Predators. The score was tied at 0 for most of the game, but that all changed when Patrick Hornqvist scored a goal, giving the Penguins the 1-0 lead. And there were no other goals scored for quite a while until Penguins forward Carl Hagelin scored the game-winning goal, making it 2-0 Penguins. The Penguins were able to keep the Predators at bay and get a 2-0 shutout win, which, in case you're wondering what a shutout is, it means that the other team hasn't scored. Anyway, they got the 2-0 shutout win, all thanks to rookie goalie Matt Murray. When the buzzer sounded, the Penguins were officially Stanley Cup champions for the second time, because they had previously won in 2016. So now that you know how the Penguins both got to and won the Stanley Cup, how about we wrap this up? Today we learned how the Penguins went from being a struggling team, struggling to just win at least one game, to going all the way to the finals, going all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and winning the Stanley Cup. There were some things that made a huge difference for this team, one of them being trading some of their key players. Another thing that made a huge difference and was a turning point for them was their win against the Washington Capitals. Lastly, we learned just how they officially became Stanley Cup champions. So now that you know a little bit more about this team and just how incredible they are, I hope it increases your appreciation for ice hockey and gives you something to think about next time you're at a sporting event, or maybe even makes you want to come to a game, which I highly encourage. So thank you for listening. Hope you have a great day.